How's it going, everybody? This is Mike, and today is Monday, which means it's time for another episode of Genre Files. And the topic for today, the genre is foreign films, which means for me, living in the good old US of A, everything outside of the US of A is foreign, right? And you know who you are. So, all right. So the movie I picked is actually the last Italian film that I watched. It's called Il Sorpasso. And this is a used DVD. It's a Criterion Collection release. Picked this up for $10 at my local DVD resale shop, and I wasn't going to pass it up for that price, but it's got this nice little sticker, so I'm going to have to replace that cover, the plastic cover, so I can see the rest of the title. That irritates the hell out of me. Il Sorpasso, 1962, directed by a guy named Dino Risi, and it's a road film, a road picture. Two guys who don't know each other very well. They get in this crazy little sports car and they drive outside of Rome and all through the countryside, having a whole bunch of adventures. The film stars Vittorio Gassman as a character named, let me see, Bruno Cortona. Okay, and the other guy in the adventure is a French actor named Jean-Louis Trintignant. I hope I pronounced that right. I can butcher French quite easily. I do it with Italian too. He plays a character named Roberto Mariani, and the third lead actor is an actress named Catherine Spack, who plays Lily Cortona, who happens to be Bruno's young daughter. All right, so this takes place on a national holiday in Italy known as Ferragosto, which also happens to be a religious holy day, August 15th. It's the Feast of the Assumption of the Virgin. So in Italy, I guess, and still is, I suppose, sort of like Christmas is in this country. It's not just a holy day, but it's a holiday. So the idea is in the film that Rome is deserted. Everybody has left. They're all going out to the country. They're visiting people. They're going to the parks. They're going to the beach. And poor Roberto, played by Jean-Louis, is a law student, a young man who is sort of stuck home in his apartment all by himself because he has to study. And he's gazing out of his window at this barren city, barren landscape. And this guy drives up in this crazy little white sports car, Vittorio Gassman, an older man in his 40s. And he sees the guy up at the window and he hollers up at him and says, "Could you please make a phone call for me?" So the young guy says, "Well, why don't you just come up and make it yourself?" So he does. They get to know each other, and I keep forgetting these names. Bruno, played by Vittorio Gassman, decides to thank this young man by taking him out for a drink. Well, he doesn't just take him out for a drink. He takes him out of the city. He takes him on the highway. They get into these crazy adventures, meeting all kinds of people. They end up going to this country house where some of Bruno's relatives live, and they get to know each other. These guys are completely the opposite personalities, but they're just sort of drawn to each other, and they just become friends, even though they really have nothing in the world to talk about. And the young guy is kind of fascinated by this older man's free spirit and the fact that he doesn't seem to be afraid of anything, and he's all wrapped up in his worries about, you know, studies and his future life and all that. But this older man just seems to not care. Plus, he's got a very cool sports car. Now, anyway, so it's a very cool movie, and it happens so fast, and all the dialogue is so fast and furious that it's not easy to get all of it in one viewing. So I'm going to have to watch it again and try to get more of the dialogue. And of course, it's in Italian with English subtitles. Black and white cinematography, music by Ritz Ortolani. It was released in the United States in 1963 under the title The Easy Life. Now, that is not a translation of Il Sorpasso. What that actually means is, Il Sorpasso means the overtaking, and it refers to this practice of aggressive drivers in Italy who tailgate. They get right up behind somebody, honking the horn, and trying to pass them. So they overtake that car, and that's what this guy does. He drives like a maniac, and it's actually stressful watching this guy drive because I'm a very slow driver. I drive like an old man, which is appropriate because I am an old man. But it was just, I mean, this guy is just, and it's a cool little car too. It's called a Lancia Aurelia. Beautiful little white sports car with this incredibly loud and irritating horn that he honks 40,000 times throughout the movie. So the movie has a lot of comedy. It has some very poignant moments. They end up going back to this place where Bruno's ex-wife lives with his teenage daughter. And of course, he doesn't get along very well with the wife. He doesn't really know the daughter very well. And of course, the other young man, Roberto, is immediately attracted to the daughter, played by Catherine Spack. Beautiful, beautiful girl. And then it takes a much darker turn at the end. I'm not going to tell you what happens, but okay, very much worth seeing. And what else do I want to say here? I think that's pretty much it. So I guess I can do this very quickly, right? I told you what Il Sorpasso meant, and I told you what kind of car it was. Let's see, what did I not tell you? I don't think I didn't tell you anything. So, all right, good movie. It has a commentary, interviews with the actors and the director, and yeah, you know, I've never seen Jean-Louis Trintignant in anything, not that I can remember, although I've certainly heard that name over the years. Vittorio Gassman, I know I've seen him in one other film, which came several years after this, and I don't think I've seen him in anything else, but he is a very cool actor. I would like to see more of his work. So that's it's going to be a search for me to find more things with Vittorio Gassman. He was also a director. So, all right. I guess that's all I want to say. Check it out. Il Sorpasso. Have a good time. Okay. Ian's already put his up for Genre Files, and I don't know if James has. I'll have to check. So, have a good evening.